Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Let's Play Zelda Classics Randomizer BS. I am Nitro6003, and today we're going to do the last two level 9s in this quest. And I'm going the wrong direction to go to level 29. And depending on what we get in level 29 will depend on what we do next. And of course, level BS29. So all that really depends on what we do next after this part or during this part. If we're lucky enough to get the gold sword in level 29 or in BS29, then we're gonna add on a special part to this. If we don't, for some reason, then we'll take it from there. So anyways, so this is level 29, the pedestal, and you do want to try to get this room down to like one enemy if you can, or even and believe it or not, my ring is better than my sword, or about the same as my sword. Alright, so one enemy left there. I mean, it's just deadly, this item here. And I still don't have a mirror shield, which is kind of a problem. I would like to find that somewhere before I go into the final part of this whole shenanigans or whatever. And I've already capped out on money, so there's really no point in picking up any more money. Or keys, for that matter. Oh, I'm also missing double magic, aren't I? So there's a key here, should you need it. So this level is more complicated than some of the other levels, but not by much. You know, a pretty straightforward level for the most part. And, you know, just drawing yourself a map is probably your best bet in this place. I'm kind of lucky that the bubble is not bothering me, because I don't have a whispering right now either. So, hence that's a problem as well. I love this ring. It's such a good item. I believe the heart shooter works on these guys. Don't quote me on it, but by the time you try to hit one of them, they're gonna have jumped away. So I wouldn't use it on them if I were you. But as you can see, arrows do nothing to them. But the ring does. So you want to go this way first. And actually, it's better to have your sword here against Dark Nuts. Like, that still is something that's important, to still have swords against the Dark Nuts. And there's a lot of dead ends in this place too. So you want to keep that in mind when going through here, is that there's a lot of dead ends. Alright, so this will lead you to one of the items. And even if we get the gold sword, it doesn't necessarily make it easier to kill some of the enemies. Most of the enemies remain the same as far as that's concerned. And here you have splitters here, but really no big deal at this point. And they're not like they're Death Knights or anything like that. So, but one of the items is actually here. You know, probably the hardest part of this level is finding, you know, the items, the boss key, that kind of thing. Red ball and chain. Kind of useless item at this point. So you see, you know, the Dark Nuts. So now it's just a matter of backtracking a little bit. So we do know where the ferry is. And these are crazy whiz robes, if you ask me. And you can pretty much see where you are on the map. Yeah, that door does not open. And here you just have simple Dark Nuts. Now there's two endings to this quest. And I'll explain that later. All right, so now you want to go this way and grab the key if you need it. And I think these vires always split. If I remember from Randomizer Modern, sorry, Randomizer Super, I believe those always split. So now basically what we need to do is make our way to the other end, you know, to the other corner of the map. Alright, so if you notice there's a room below you, or would be a room below you, so you just want to go down from there. Because those stairs don't lead anywhere Or, I mean, they do, but they don't help you in any way. So you want to go this way. I really should be using my wand. These are the stairs you want to take. So now you see you're up here now. And I believe there's also stairs in this room that don't lead anywhere useful. Yeah, Patras are no longer a problem for you, or shouldn't be. And that's why we came up this way. You want to get the boss key, essentially. Yeah, see, now this is, I mean, you could go into these stairs, but you may want to take another look in this room here, because you can actually bomb down. So you really want to use your lens in this place as much as you can, you know, so you don't miss stuff. I mean, like I said, the last thing you want to do is miss the boss key, or, you know, miss the item, you know, because it's not as easy as you think to get back into some of these places. And just ignore those guys here. You have wind robes. I don't like these bullet robes. They're just a pain. They're not hard. They're just more of a pain than anything else. Where is he? You can't find him. The room just gets really messy. Yeah, having the throwing disc, especially the gold one at this point, is actually really good. And this is how you're going to find your other item. So essentially, I mean, it makes even simple whiz robes like this, like bat robes, like nothing. I mean, the sword does the same thing, but I mean, I could rip apart as many as they throw out, so I'm not as worried, you know, having, you know, as many bat robes as there are in this room. And I can just kind of stay up here and get the item. So we know there's going to be 3 items here. And there's another heart container. So far, nothing that good in this level. And BS29 is actually pretty close to the start. It is actually at the start. So, you know, nothing to worry about there. All right, so we just have a little bit more map completion to do, and then we're gonna Pharaoh's win back to the start. All right, so, you know, we have the items, we just have to finish up the level now. And there was a reason you couldn't get here. Yeah, see the fire doesn't work on these guys? And this is probably the biggest pain in the butt room in the entire level. But again, with the throwing disc, it kind of makes this level and the rest of the game till pretty much the very end, you know, and even then, you know, it's kind of minuscule. I think there's actually stairs in here, but they go backwards, and you kind of have to go through the whole level again, so don't bother with them. If you want to kill the Patra too, you can. And here you have a Dodongo Dark Nut kind of thing. And this thing takes a lot of hits. It is actually really good if you can. I think it can hit with the gold arrow. No, I think you have to hit it with a sword or. Yeah, these custom bosses are actually harder than the final bosses, which is interesting. All right, let's see what's our end of the level prize. All right, gold spell book. All right, so now we'll go back to the start and grab our whistle, because in order to get to BS29, that's the only way to get there, because it is right on this screen. Yeah, BS29 is right here, just like BS19. And this is register. And this level is actually really easy in a nutshell. So it shouldn't be a problem. If you need the key, grab the key. If not, you know, I'm not going to grab every key. I'm just going to show you where they all are. And we'll leave one enemy here for right now. And maybe we'll get the gold sword here, perhaps? If not, then it is in one of the elemental levels. I mean, by process of elimination, it can only be in there. And the only reason to come here into this room is to get the compass. Otherwise, you really don't have to. I don't actually know what that like would have done, but thankfully, I got out of it before anything bad happened. Like he ate my enemy bait or something. I'm still missing Nero's love also, believe it or not. And I still can't hold any more money, so it kind of is relevant at this point. Whoops. Try to get rid of some of these guys. And again, having the magic key is actually really good. And that's where you find the boss key, but don't be satisfied with just the boss key here. You actually want to go this way and just continue going this way, because otherwise you're going to miss an item. I mean, you already have the boss key, so you might as well grab the item. Another heart container. So still missing quite a few of those too. And the good thing, if you ask me about this level, is that it's pretty straightforward. I mean, there's really not a heck of a lot that you can possibly mess up. I mean, you just can't. So we're missing the mirror shield. We're missing the gold sword. Missing all the Jinx rings. So even if you don't get them on the upward trend, you'll get them on the downward trend. You don't even have to worry about blue whiz robes anymore. So you want to go into these stairs first. I mean, this gold throwing disc pretty much replaces my sword at this point. And this is to get to the map. See, I want to show you, this thing does not work on Lambolas to the slightest. But I want to go through my inventory to find an item that works on these things could be a pain. Alright, so there's your map. So you see it's a R with a circle around it, essentially. And so we have the three big things. We have the boss key, you know, etc., etc. All right, so now you want to go to the right. You know, your map helps you quite a bit in this level. And I'll bomb this open for later. But I want to go to this way first to show that off. And now we can go to the left here. I mean, this level is pretty linear. There's not too much tricks to it. I mean, as long as you kill all the enemies and stuff like that, you should find all the items. And all the keys, and I think there's only 2 keys in this level. You know, to be quite honest with you. And unlike Randomizer Super and Modern, you can go into any of the level. You can go into the Lost Overworld to get to the Zelda dungeons. You can't do that here. Yeah, just coming all this way for a key, essentially. And for, you know, map completion, whatever, and whatnot. There's actually nothing in this room. Except for very dangerous enemies here, see? Nothing in here. Yeah, so I don't have any Jinx rings yet. So we're going to have to go find those. Alright, so just be careful when coming out of there because of the wind robes. But I mean, other than that, it's not a big deal. So you just want to keep following this around, and you'll eventually get to the other item. Oops. Yeah, there's not even any wall masters protecting this this thing yet. So this is the boss, and I will have to go back to get the other item. Remember, because these items do not count as the end of the dungeon prizes because of the fairy. And there's the boots. So you'll see I only have one of the two items. And I just need to get back a little bit to these stairs here. Because that spot right under the compass is where the other item is. So basically what you have to do is walk up. And this is where the other item is. So I just accidentally missed it. But again, I knew where it was. I just forgot the walk through wall here. Yeah, this is actually, the ring is better for this room because it pierces enemies. And, you know, my sword doesn't yet. See, so I can get rid of all the bat robes pretty much in one fell swoop. And there's the gold hook shot. So, have you ever wondered what happens if you should use Pharaoh's Wind in here? I'll show you, because we're done with the level anyway. So it brings you here, and it actually brings you back here. All right, so join me next time as we start the elemental levels. I'm Nitro6003, and I'll see you guys all next time.